Ashley Barnes might have been a name that you've heard a lot recently, and not for a good reason. She is a young teenage girl who has recently been in the ceasefire of a lot of criticism and a lot of drama and a very, very messy situation. So I'm going to try my best to go through it, explain what's going on, and we will get on with the video. A content creator, a typical TikToker, we'll have a look at her TikTok and videos shortly just so you can get an idea of who she is. But if I just say to you like generic TikTok girl, she's has a lot of videos about like mental health and her struggle, but other than that, it's mainly just TikTok dances, relatable content. You get the gist. And in this teenage kind of realm, the younger realm, a lot of people, they do collabs, and especially in the US, it's a lot more common. A lot of collaborations happen between guys, girls, different teenagers of the same age, and they film content together to post on platforms. And that doesn't always end up being the most comfortable thing, as we've seen. But first of all, make sure you subscribe, and we'll just have a little look through her content so you can get a little bit of gist of who she is. So this is her page. As you can see, which might be the first thing that you look at, her bio says, "I love all 2.7 mil of you." That's 200,000 followers. That is a lot to lose in the, I want to say 5 days to a week that this has happened. So I'm assuming you can gather, and we can all gather, that a lot of people aren't really siding with her. And as you can see, a lot of people have been coming to her page because all of her videos have a couple million. Her content is pretty much... It's exactly that. There's a couple videos further down that we'll look at as well. This is a video that is good for context to a lot of situations who will watch it. So the main premise is that she's saying she has an addiction and has struggled with things, which is okay. That's okay. That's important context when we get into the situation though. So just keep that in mind. I also think it's important for you to know that she's 17. Most of the people involved in the situation are between the ages of 16 and 20. I don't think there's anybody older than that. So basically children. There's a lot of very, very young teenagers that have been taken advantage of, and it's just a very messy situation in general. So I will just remind you to keep in mind these are very, very young, immature, still learning everything about the internet and life in general, people involved. So just keep that in mind when you're forming your own opinion. So the first part of the situation, the main catalyst, was a guy named Brad Mason coming out. He was one of Ashley Barnes' friends. From what we know, that was as far as it went. And she had basically paid for his hotel, his flight, to meet up and hang out and film content. But this is the first part, and I guess we can just dissect it as we go through, but I think the best way to do it is just watch the part so you can get a grasp of what the situation is, and we can just pick at it as we go.
Hey guys, sorry, I just got out of the shower, but I can't believe I have to make this video, but it's something that definitely needs to be addressed and brought to kind of like the public's knowledge. So, as you guys know, I was friends with Ashley Barnes, and it was very public. We were very, like, on social media that we were, like, close friends, right? And some things, happened, like, earlier on, I would say, that were kind of, like, weird, that kind of, like, turned me the wrong way. And then she started acting more weird. And as of this last trip that I took a trip out to LA. She flew me out. She bought a hotel, like, we stayed there. But when I was there, a lot of, like, weird stuff happened, and I feel like it's something that needs to be brought to the public attention because I don't want this happening to other people. And as much as I, like, do love her as a person, she, deep down, I know she's an amazing person, and I hope that she can get help for whatever she's going through. But, so I was in LA.
Okay, so I know that it's a lot. Sean, you can like 2x the speed when we're watching these. You can like make it faster, otherwise most of the video is just gonna be sat here. So just 2x the speed of when he's talking and slow it down when I interrupt. So I find it really odd. I mean, not even odd, but I think as somebody who already knows what the situation is, the whole picking out that she's a great person deep down, and needs help isn't discrediting to anything that he says, but it's definitely peculiar considering if this was anybody older or another influencer that wasn't 17 and had made this mistake, it's definitely not something you would say they were a great person deep down with. But it's just worth something to point that out.
And we were like making TikToks, you know, having a good time.
And she introduced me to her roommates, whatnot. And like when all of this was happening, she was kind of acting weird. She like, oh, let's post like flirty TikToks. I'm like I don't really do like, you know, fake relationship kind of thing. Like I don't want that image on me, you know, like that's just not what I particularly want out of social media. Like I love posting, I love like doing my own thing, but I would not like fake a relationship. I know like some people do it, like that's great for them. Like I'm glad that works for them. That's just not something that works for me. And she kept like wanting to do these flirty things, and me as a person, I have a really really hard time like saying no. And she like kept asking, okay, like let's make flirty like TikToks. I'm like, okay, like I was like visibly not really comfortable with it, and her roommate could tell she was making faces at me, like whatnot. Just very visibly uncomfortable with the whole situation. Like I just don't want to make that kind of stuff. And so I mean, like, and that's happened in the past. She's asked me to make flirty videos, and I'm like, oh, okay, like you know, because she does like pay for me to go out there. She does like, you know, provide me with a place to stay. She pays for food. Like she's you know a good host. So I have a hard time saying no, especially when she's done that much for me. But by the way, I'm making this into like a few parts, so I'm gonna do it like around.
So long story short, he basically got flown out and was uncomfortable making flirty TikToks. That's pretty much the premise of part one.
It's the 6th of July. We had a good time the first night. We hung out with her like friends and whatnot, her roommates. And then come Saturday, I'm pretty sure that it was on Saturday. This is on Saturday or Sunday, whatever the 6th was. On that day, we go film our content. We go to the mall, get coffee, go shopping. If you guys are like fans of her, you'll see it like all over her Snapchat. So we had a good day. And then we go back to the hotel. Like it's getting late. Like we're with like her roommates. We're with 2 of them. The other one stayed home. And she like starts like spraying pheromone spray. If you guys don't know what that is, it kind of like releases.
Pheromone spray is a fragrance that contains synthetic pheromones or compounds that mimic natural pheromones designed to enhance attraction or create a more appealing scent. These sprays aim to interact with the person's natural scent and potentially make them more attractive to others. While the science behind their affection of humans is still debated, they are often marketed as a way to boost confidence and create a subtle, alluring aura. So it's basically really weird to use that with a friend. That's something that's really, really strange to just pull out when you're hanging out with random people, especially in front of them. Not that it's okay, like, anyway, behind the scenes. And you'll find out even more, both of these people aren't interested in them anyway, and one even has a girlfriend. It's just not something we do and not very socially acceptable, and definitely a strange thing, and just a very minor red flag. A very minor one.
So we spray like the she sprays
like pheromone spray.
Oh my god, I'm an NPC.
It's like, oh, that's when it like smell good. And then she starts like cleaning it up because we had another TikToker. They're, I would say, very very famous right now. Very public relationship, which is a key like fact of the story. They're in a public relationship. They come over and she was like freaking out trying to clean up the room. She's like, oh, I have to do this good. Like I need to get like, you know, in with this said person. And this whole time she's spraying pheromone spray. Like I'm like, okay. And she's like, oh, like it's just like I want the room to smell good. So I'm like, okay, like it does smell good. And then this person comes here, and she goes downstairs to get them, and I'm upstairs with her roommate, which I'm not going to disclose her name. And so they come back up. It's like chill, we're hanging out, like it's a nice, friendly environment. And then she starts like pressuring everyone, which me as a person, like I don't drink, like I don't do like bad stuff. And she's like kind of like doing like, oh, like do this, like kind of like pressuring more of them into like doing like stuff like drinking stuff they shouldn't be drinking and like taking stuff they shouldn't be taking, and they were clearly very uncomfortable, very like pressured, because like at first it was like fun, like you know they were having a fun time doing it, like voluntarily, and then it like gets to like a point where like she starts acting weird, weird as in she keeps telling them to keep doing more and more and more. I'm like, okay, why does she want them to like, you know, drink and like do this stuff? Like why does she want them to keep doing that? So like in the back of my head I'm like, okay, that's weird, because in the past she's pressured me to like want to like do stuff with them, you know, like that's like the best way to put it, I would say. She like tried to pressure me into doing like stuff that I clearly did not want to do. And during like this time, like we're all like kind of like looking at each other, like what's going on? Like this is kind of weird. Like we don't know what to do. And we're like, okay, maybe she just wants to have a good time. So we like kind of like ignore it for like that moment. And then after like she starts like doing that, it just becomes more and more weird. So like,
Okay. So the two public figure couples it was Capri and Piper Raquel. If you don't know them, they have their own niche. Please do go and look them up. But they are very, very well known, huge following public figures. They are in a very public relationship. The details of that I don't know, but from the situation, it's very real and it is a real relationship. And Ashley spraying pheromone spray, which is a fragrance, as we said, that increases attraction. So that is weird, knowing that that person's coming over and she wanted to, you know, get in with Capri and Piper, I assume, because they are a very famous and well-known group. It's definitely weird. It's definitely really, really, really odd. odd thing to do.
She was acting weird. We were just trying to have like a good time. And this whole time, so okay, wait. She takes me to the bathroom at one point, and then she's like, she whispers in my ear like, "Hey, like, so and so like aren't like really like a thing. They're not like serious." And I'm like, "Oh, that's not like what I've been hearing like all night." And she's like, "Oh, like I'm gonna get with them. You can get with my roommate." Like,
So she's talking about Capri. She's basically saying that Piper and Capri aren't a real thing, which we now know they are. And that she wants to get with Capri and that Brad can get with her roommate, who later comes out. It's a very messy situation. I don't know whether she 100% knew they were real or whether that was something they were covering up because she was trying to get with Capri. It's a very, very messy situation, as I've already said, and this was definitely something people have found really, really strange about it.
I was like, oh, like,
okay. Like I didn't like say yes or no, but I was like, "Oh, okay." And then they go. She goes back out, and we're hanging out again. And she's like very, very flirty with this person. And the whole time, like she's like drunk. I feel like at this point she was drinking a good amount. The whole time this said person was like, "Oh, I love my significant other. Like I love my significant other. Like I'm not gonna like kind of like give out genders." And like that's like kind of was what was happening. And like trying to be like, "Hey, like this is not happening. It's not happening. Like let's hang out as friends. We're friends. Come on, don't ruin this." And then she kind of like says like, "Oh, like let's play truth or dare." I'm like, "Okay, this is getting weird." So she while we're like playing like truth or dare, we all like kind of like see like, okay, something's really, really off here. So we all just keep like saying, "Oh, truth, truth, truth." Like, and then she's like, "Okay, this is getting boring. Let's play dare or drink." So then she wanted to play dare or drink, right? And then she kept wanting people to make out with everyone, and we're like, "No." Like she kept like daring him, like, "No, like we're not doing that. Like something else." And we kept daring her, like I think I told her to do a handstand, do a cartwheel, like something like dumb, kind of like to like get the game over with. And she just kept daring everyone like make out with people, and it was like weird, and like we didn't know what to do. So then she ends up like kind of like forcefully making out with her roommate, like this said other like person, like, "Oh, we dare you guys to like like make out." We're like trolling, obviously, like we didn't actually mean it. Like we're like, "Oh," because we're trying to like kind of like make her like kind of like mad, or like rage reading, but like we didn't actually mean it. And she's like, "Oh, we have to do it." And then she's like, "Are you serious, guys?" Like she's like mad because we're like rage baiting. And then we didn't think it actually happened. So Ashley like grabs her by the face and starts like making out with her. And then like she like pulls away, and then Ashley she like grabs her by the throat and pulls her back in, and she's like, "What? What?" Like she like clearly does not want this to happen. Clearly super uncomfortable. And then we obviously felt bad because we didn't think she was gonna do that. Like that was totally out of pocket. And then she was like, "See guys, see like we did it as friends. Like me." And she's like, "Why can't you?" Talking to said other.
Okay, so that's just assault.
So that's part one of why the situation was so insane. Because although we've already gone through the small things that are not okay, assaulting your roommate is also one of those things that is definitely insane, definitely worth being called out for. And obviously he's saying and describing how much she really didn't want to and how uncomfortable it was. That's also just not okay. It's not something that we want to be doing, and why this is blown up so much, because that is something, especially as minors, that is just not good, not okay. And I know I'm saying that a lot, but this situation is just so huge and so many things happened. Nothing about it is okay, and there were so many different ways it could have been dealt with, but it also feels so, so bad for these people who are all minors having to deal with it.
why can't we just like make out as friends? Like it's not cheating, because like like it's
Like we're friends, so it's not considered cheating. Okay, and then like.
Part 4.
And mind you, at this point, like we took stuff that we had no clue like what it was. Like, we thought it was just normal stuff, but clearly it wasn't. So we kind of have like no clue. Like we are obviously like we know what's going on, but we like don't really like understand. So everything's like kind of like blurry in the moment, and we're like chilling. Like everyone was like, "Okay, like that was weird." And then her roommate's like, "Ashley, I dare you to stop asking people to make out." And she's like, "No, I'm drinking. Like I'd rather drink instead of like that happen." So if you know how dare like or drink I guess works. Never played like in my life. If you like dare someone to do something they don't do it, then they have to drink. So she's like, "Oh, I might as well just drink then," because she had clearly wanted to do that. And this whole time she's spraying more pheromone spray. She gets this roller out, like it's like a roller pheromone, and she like puts like an X thing like on her roommate's chest. And we're like, "Bro." And like at this moment, like I'm like right next to this person, I'm like, "Bro, like I think we're gonna get like, can't like say the word on here, but it starts with an R.
I see why he's scared, but I don't think taking a pheromone stick and when they put it on someone's chest is, I don't think that means that. But I also understand his thinking if he was already scared. That's definitely really, really strange, because obviously the chest area on a girl is, I don't have to explain that. But that's the thing where when you talk about the situation, especially to a public platform, and it blows up like this, it's words like that that really make the situation something it's not. Not to say that it wasn't, and not to completely disregard anything he's saying, but I don't think that was something that I agree with happening, and him saying that he knew that that was gonna happen. It was a roll on stick. I understand being nervous, but I think especially with public figures, when you use buzzwords like that, it makes it so much more serious and so much bigger than what it was. And I think that's what part of the problem is. Even though they are 100% in the right, it's a horrible thing to have to witness and go through, and I can't imagine how uncomfortable they were. That's part of the problem, was stuff like that, not completely understanding the lengths of what their words do and they mean. Which is fine.
And
They can
then
leave.
the ru-
That's something you should do. If I do remember correctly, because of the substances and the various things that she had been like forcing them to take, they couldn't. We'll get onto that, but they were trying to leave. It was uncomfortable. 100% leave if you're ever in an uncomfortable situation.
Like, so Ashley ends up going to the bathroom, like, bro, what do we do? Like, we need to get out of here. I'm like, and then her roommate was like, oh, like, let me call, like, I'm gonna call Uber or something like that. And then the other one's like, I can't drive. Like, I cannot drive right now. And the whole time, they're like, I love my significant other. Like, I love them with my whole heart. Like, clearly does not want to do anything with her.
Capri and Piper?
Like, did. And so, like, while this is that, she comes back out. And then, she, like, gets these gummies. And then she's like, oh, like, they're just gummies. She tries shoving it in her roommate's mouth. Like, take it. So she bites off a little bit, just, like, get her to stop. And then she comes up to me with a different one. It was like a blue one. She's like, Brad, take this. I'm not taking. I'm not taking whatever it is. I'm not taking. Like, clearly you've already done something that you should not have done. Like, you gave me something that you did not, like, it's not what you, like, really said it was, and I know that's really what it was. And she's like, oh, take this gummy, like, shoving it in my face. I'm, like sitting back, like, on my phone, like, no, like, I'm good. And then she whispers in my ear, she's like, Brad, like, just act like you take a bite. Like, you can just throw it on the floor. Like, I just really want this person to take it so I can get with them. And then
Capri.
I'm like, no. And then
So
This is where the situation gets even weirder. He's basically she was trying to get Brad to take this gummy. From what I've heard and what I've managed to kind of decipher and figure out, it was like a weed gummy. And she was lying about what it was, which isn't okay at all. Drugging your friends is not cool. She was lying about what it was and didn't 100% care if Brad taken it, but wanted to basically drug Capri to get with him, which is crazy. It's I don't even know how to describe that. With like, disgusting, not okay, especially when he's in a public relationship and it's a serious relationship. Nothing about that is okay. And this is where it just gets crazy. Yeah.
She says, oh my gosh, Brad took it. Now it's your turn.
goes and gives the other half, and, like, she's looking the other way. I'm like, alright, sorry about that. And the whole time, like, I'm looking, like, do not take that. And then this person was like, oh no, I'm not taking that. Like, I don't know what that is. And then, like, at this point, we're like, bro, what is going on? And, she, keeps doing, like, this weird stuff, and she's like, why won't you take it? Like, I'm just trying to have, like, fun, like, that kind of stuff. We end up getting it, like, away from her, like, we get that thing away from her. And then, she tries, like, forcing herself on this person. And,
Which is
like,
assault.
I'm like, laying down, like, on the bed, like, walks over, gets in front of me, gets up, like, this person gets up to get out of the way, and, like, kind of, like, not pushes her, like, you know, like, stay away, like, kind of like that thing, like, did not push her in any way, but kind of like, no, like, don't do this. And then this person was like, we're great friends, like, you do not want to do this, like, I love my significant other, you know, that kind of thing. And then she turns down the lights, like, completely turns them all the way off. At this point, her roommate grabs her purse
Really
and
weird.
runs out the room. Oh my gosh, I forgot the part. Me and the said person, when she started, like, doing, like, started the weird stuff, me and this person went out the door and we walked around. Okay, we're talking, like, what do we do? Like, we're gonna, like, get, like, you know, something bad is gonna happen tonight. And,
So we walk around, we're kind of like, and this person like, I don't want to leave you here. I'm kind of like, just like, save yourself. And they're like, I don't know.
Because it's important to know, remember part 1 and what we said earlier, Ashley paid for Brad's flight and hotel room. He has nowhere else to go. He cannot leave. And it will come up that his friend Capri, he couldn't bring Brad back with him because he was staying at Piper's house. And obviously Piper's a public figure. You can't just bring, like, random friends. So he didn't want to leave Brad by himself with Ashley. That was the whole issue on why they couldn't leave. Although I definitely think that you should leave if you're in an uncomfortable situation, but these are kids. It's not like they can just leave and go anywhere. It's a very, very difficult and disgusting situation to have to deal with, which is why if you're thinking just leave, it's why it was so complex and difficult.
if I can drive, like all this stuff, because she's was pressuring everyone, making people do stuff. And like, I don't know if I feel comfortable driving, like, you know, kind of like that. And then, we go back. She's like, "Where'd you guys go? What'd you guys say?" Like, what, all this stuff. And like, we're freaked out, like traumatized, freaked out. I don't know, whatever word you want to say. And so back to where I was. The roommate runs out with her bag. Like, she completely runs out. She's like around the corner, like ordering her Uber to go home. And then this person's like, "Bro, I don't want to leave you here. Like, I feel so bad. Like it's like basically like saying, like, it's not safe. And like, just save yourself. Like, go home. Like, try to drive if you can. If you like can't, like, don't, obviously, but like, try to like get home." And then they end up leaving. Like, we walk this person down to their car, and they, like, before we leave, like, the room, they have this conversation. I'm right there. This person's like, "Okay, like, you know, like, me and blank are super, super serious. Like, I love them with my whole heart. Like, I'm not doing stuff with you. Like, I'm not doing that. I love this person." And then she could just not take no for an answer. She kept trying to, like, force herself.
This is
She's
Capri
like,
talking about Piper.
like, "Why can't we just do stuff? Like, come on, like, we're friends." And then kind of like saying, friends don't do that. Like, they don't do that. So we walked them down, and I was going to walk this person down, like, by myself and kind of like figure out what we were going to do. But she, of course, had to follow. In this whole, oh my god. Okay, wait, I'm gonna end this, and then in the next video it gets worse. And then, so this whole time she changes into like really, really small shorts, right? And the whole time she's like the whole time while like this truth or dare thing goes on, she's like spreading her legs open, like all that stuff, like lifting her like shirt up to here, like trying to like show off her abs, like just always opening her legs. Which that's something I left out. I definitely should have like included that, but she was doing this the whole time, and like, bro.
Keep in mind, she's 17 as well. Not to say that teenagers don't get sexual and teenagers don't do stuff like that, because, like, 100% do. I'm not gonna lie. But especially in a group of people who are your friends and are already uncomfortable, and there's no way she hasn't figured out already uncomfortable by then, it's genuinely insane. It's predatory. Like, I think calling a 17-year-old predatory, like, there's no other word for it. It's weird. Like, there's multiple people that are being affected. It's just not something that's okay.
What is going on? And so this person leaves. Both of them leave, and then I'm in the room by myself. I'm like, "Bro, like, what do I do?" Like, I get into the bed and I like try to sleep. And then the whole time she's like, "Brad, like, why don't you like me like you did when I was like when you were 13," which was like 4 years ago, like when we first met, or 13, whatever, however old I was, like 3 or 4 years ago. And she's like, "Am I not skinny enough? Like, I'll lose 10 pounds right now."
So
Like,
you're 17. Okay.
Am I like, you know,
So they're all
not
minors.
thick enough? I'm like, "No, actually, like, that's not it. Like, you're like perfect the way you are. Just try to be like, you know, nice. Like, I'm not gonna like be rude." Kind of like that. And she was like, "Brad, like, please." And then she like gets like into my bed, and I'm just like, bro, I'm like trying to act like I'm asleep, and like I get away from her. But at this point, like, I like completely kind of like black out. Like, not like black out, but like, I like pass out. Like, I'm so tired, like completely like done for. Like, I don't wake up until 2 p.m. And like the other people, like, I was like went home, same like kind of thing. Like, they just went to bed. They didn't like wake up till later. And she was like awake when this happened, so I have no clue what could have happened. Like, I don't know what happened really, which is kind of like scary. It's a scary situation for anyone. So I wake up in the morning, and like I'm like, did last night actually happen? So I text them. They're all texting like, "Are you good? What happened? Like, what happened? Like, what happened?" Like, they're like genuinely like scared for my life. Like, I thank God, like, he truly did bless me to put me in a situation where I had people that are genuine people that were there for me. Because they could have easily left, like, did not care at all. But I texted them like, "Did this like actually like really happen?" And they're like, "Yes." And then I wanted to text her roommate saying like, "I hope you know, like, I had no part in whatever went on last night. Like, I promise you that is not what happens. Like, it's not like that. Something's genuinely wrong with her in the nicest way possible. Something that she needs to seek medical help. Like, I do. She was an amazing person before this happened, but she needs medical help. Like, she needs to stay off social media. She needs to work on herself, and then maybe one day she can come back, but she needs to stay away from social media." But so they're all texting me, and then I drop her the whole morning. Like, I'm out of my room. I'm on the phone telling my friends. I'm like, "Bro, like, this happened. Like, bro, what?" And then I drop her off at school. The whole ride there, not speaking. Like, did not, like, I was like, "Yeah, I'm fine." She's like, "What's wrong?" Like, I'm like, just driving. Like, it's fine. And then when she was like trying to make us take stuff, she's like, "You're not gonna run this tomorrow. Like, we might as well just do like."
This is just so, like, it gets worse. Like, there's not even anything I can describe. There are so many factors that are genuinely just terrifying. It's scary that this is her behavior as a 17-year-old, where she got that idea from, thinking that's okay, I don't know. That's scary in itself. The way she acted is scary. The whole you won't remember thing is scary. The trying to drug her friends is scary. The forcing herself, like, this is a 17-year-old girl doing this. I don't even know what to say. But pretty much that's the situation. That's what's going on. And that's pretty much all the parts. There are more parts. If I went through everybody's sides of the story, this would be a very, very long video. So I'm just going to go through the main part. It has all been corroborated by friends, other point of views. So please also go and do your own research if you want to find more information. But that's pretty much the premise of the story and what happened and what went down. Okay, so this part is where I said earlier about remembering about her sobriety and her addiction issues. A lot of people were bringing up that, not as an excuse, but were trying to defend her by saying she wasn't sober, her Adderall, you know, she, like, her drinking, her problem, and she was saying, no, she's sober, and all at the same time on her social medias. This was when she posted that video with her dad about struggling with it, and saying that she was sober now, and it was fine, all to have proof of this. It's not a water bottle, but for the sake of not getting, you know, taken down,
That's water. You know.
yeah, it's
It's
not
clearly
water.
not like an
It's alcoholic. It's definitely not what a sober person would be drinking if this was their struggle.
alcoholic beverage.
Yeah.
Here is like the messages. This is what a creator said to me that was at the event. She said she broke her sobriety. She's been providing Adderall to Geo, unprescribed, which that's who the person is. I'm going to show you guys that screenshot. She said that she's still clear on Adderall after claiming she got misdiagnosed, and then she offered it to these people, and they didn't take it, which is a good thing. Here's a screenshot with Geo. That's his like thing up here. I'm like, fam, be careful. I know you don't mess with me, like, but deadass, be careful, please. Like, and he's like, you're Chop Gang. And like, we've had beef in the past because we both had a thing for this girl online, and
Yeah.
Like, you know,
Anyway, that's not relevant, but there was the whole thing with her. We know that there's an alcohol problem and a possible Adderall abuse problem as well. This girl has a lot of issues, and it was being used as an excuse a lot of the time. And a lot of lying going on about sobriety, trying to use prescribed meds and selling them to people, giving them to people. That part confuses me. I'm not 100% sure what that's on. But yeah, it adds up. There's the assault, there's the unprescribed Adderall issue, giving them to people. That's a complete separate thing. And then it's the drinking while being sober as a 17-year-old girl. It's a lot. That's a lot to go on, and a lot of truth not completely adding up. One last thing I want to add on is there was a drawer apparently of Ashley's that had stuff like condoms, more pheromone stuff, the gummies, just stuff she shouldn't have had. I have the video. This is something I did have to dig around for it, but I think it's important because it's like actual like evidence, if that makes sense. Yeah.
this is the drawer video of what Ashley Barnes had in her drawer. Just so that everybody, this is the drawer video of what Ashley Barnes had in her drawer. Just so that everybody that hasn't seen it can see it. Y'all, Capri dropped the story time. Make sure to go look at Capri's page as well. And Brad Mason, if you haven't seen it either.
Yeah, there's handcuffs.
In there as well. It's basically a whole drawer full of stuff shouldn't have. There's a couple things in there I don't even know what they are. But they're obviously not innocent things that somebody with good intentions was gonna have, especially the handcuffs. That kind of threw me off as well. But yeah, the whole situation is extremely skewed. I do really hope that she gets help. At the moment, there hasn't really been a response yet. The only thing that she said is completely nothing to do with the drama or any of the assault or anything. It was about her own content, which is kind of crazy. From what we can tell, her own mentality, she doesn't care. Her replies to some of the comments on her alt account have been that she doesn't care. And the tactic she's been using to kind of escape the criticism is really, really odd. She's been posting old drafts with Brad, Capri, Piper, from, like, I assume, and it's been clarified by Brad before this all happened, I assume to kind of try and make it look like they were all still good. But she's been posting these videos and adding captions like they were fine and there was nothing going on. So I'm not entirely sure whose idea that was, if that's her. But that's how she's been dealing with it. It's a really, really weird way to deal with it. But I do hope she gets help. Let me know what you guys think. Please do keep the comments respectful if you are going to give your opinion, because obviously this is a very, very sensitive situation. As I said before, do your own research as well, but I hope that this summarized it. The girl really does need some help, and I hope that she does get it. And although it's really horrible to be outed like this on the internet, and I'm not 100% sure how I agree with it and how beneficial all of her friends with millions of followers coming on the internet to out her about it was, I think it's definitely good to draw attention and traffic because this isn't somebody you should be supporting. But as I said, she is a teenage girl, she's 17, and already her content is about a lot of mental health and being sensitive, and I don't know how much that's actually going to help, but you know, it's done now. I hope that she does get the help that she needs, and if you have an opinion, please drop it in the comment, leave a subscribe, and I will see you soon.